is not very easy being this, chocolatey and all this dark beauty in Germany, because then it comes with a lot of things. So I'm going to be talking about being black in Germany basically.
Lovely if you subscribe.
So the number one thing that I've experienced being black in Germany is the staring down. People can look at you, and this is not just you look at me and then look away. Somebody could sit and look right into your face and look you all the way down and up and still come back to your face and just keep staring. And back home, if somebody's staring at you and then you turn back and you like stare at them, they usually, kind of look away or something. But here, no, they will continue staring at you right in your face, and you'll be like, is there something wrong with me, or what is happening? And I've experienced this until date, whether on the bus, whether just walking on the street, in a shop, or wherever. So the second thing is, every people wanting to touch your hair, everybody wanting to touch your hair. They'll be like, oh my god, can I touch your hair? And sometimes by the time they're asking, they are literally already touching. And sometimes it's really uncomfortable because there are those styles that you just don't want somebody to touch, or you just feel like, I don't want to be touched, because I don't go around asking people, can I touch your hair and so forth. But it's okay if you tell somebody that, no, I don't want you to touch my hair, because they're straightforward like that, and they can easily just understand that, okay, they don't want their personal space to be invaded, and I'm not going to do that. So it's the touching of hair. And while we are on hair, every time I change my hairstyle, they do not know who I am at work. you know the first time I went with like I had little wig but short hair, and that's what they got used to me for like 2 weeks. And then I changed my hairstyle and I walked in, and people, this lady was just staring at me, and I was like, is everything okay? Like a colleague of mine, I was like, is everything okay? She's like, yeah, are you new? Are you a student? Are you, what's happening? I was like, what do you mean? It's me, Selena. They say, oh my god, yeah, it's true. What happened to your hair? I'm like, nothing happened to my hair. This is I'm a black girl. So I'll be having it all different all the time. So you gotta get used to it. Otherwise, I don't know. So yeah, every time you change your hair, they don't know who you are, because here most people identify each other with like, no, the blonde girl, or the girl with dark hair, the girl with short hair. So if they identify you as the girl with probably turquoise and black hair, and then you show up with like red hair or with the curly wig, they'll be like, and who are you? And the other thing, which I don't really understand why they do this, is when you get on the bus and there are like two chairs next to each other. If you get on and you sit next to somebody, in most cases they get up and either just stand or they go look for another seat. And it was really offending in the beginning. I was like, do I smell? Is it because of my color? Is it gonna rub on you, or what is it? Why are you standing up? But then later on, I've noticed that, what, some people are just having a different mindset. They probably haven't encountered a black person before, and they are uncomfortable, so they just gonna move away. And darling, you just made more space for me, so I'm just gonna sit down and relax, because why not? So it's up to you how you handle the situation, but it doesn't really happen every time. But then I've encountered it a couple of times. The other thing I'd never get used to also is people asking how I got here. you know the I don't understand what the notion is if people do not do their research and find out really what Africa is, where Africa is. That it's a beautiful continent with a lot of different countries, with beautiful things, with airports, with skyscrapers, with beautiful oceans, with it is a beautiful place. It's not just trash, it's not just people running naked and animals all around the place. So when somebody asks me, oh my god, how did you get here? Like, did you come through the ocean, and were you like struggling? It just gets so annoying. In the beginning I was like, I really felt like it's so much of ignorance, because we have airports, we have planes, we have a lot of these things, and then you have somebody who's still wondering how you came all the way from Africa to here. Like, yeah, I just climbed on an elephant, and it got me here. Because what else can you say? And some of these are sarcastic things, and people still get to believe them. So it's a pity sometimes. But guys, please do your research. Do your research, travel around, visit. Even if you just go on YouTube, you'll find a lot of people talking about Africa and they'll be showing you about beautiful places in Africa. Africa is a big continent with different countries, different people. And this also goes the same when somebody asks, "Oh my God, you're from Africa?" Yeah, I have a friend from Africa as well, and his name is Who Who. Do you know them? I'm like, I'm from the southwest of Africa, all the way down there. And you're telling me about somebody who's probably from North Africa or like all the way. How am I supposed to? I don't even know everybody in my own country, and you're asking me somebody from a different country. So it's that ignorant. I just wish people could do more research and understand that there's a world out there with a lot of different things, some which are even better than what is here. The other thing I personally do not appreciate is the little racial jokes. Even if you're just making a joke, sometimes it's really very uncomfortable when somebody comes and they're like, "Oh my God, in the summer I just look like you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you get as dark as I am in the summer." Or they're like, "If I touch you, do you think your color will rub off to me?" I'm like, darling, please, can we not do that? Or there was a time I visited this place and there was a lady who came with a dog, and I was like, "Oh my God, you have such a beautiful dog." It was like this really beautiful brown dog, and she said, "Yeah, it's just like you." And I was like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Yeah, it's this brown and beautiful like you." I really wish right now, I keep beating up myself. I really wish I had a comeback to the situation, but then I was just like, you know, I didn't really respond in a way that I wanted to respond. I was just like, okay, I left it there. But when I went home, I was like, I wish I had said this. I wish, but now I know better, definitely. So some of these racial jokes are not really as exciting as you might think. And I know sometimes it comes from a place of no harm, but still, it's not a good thing to say such things. So please, let us also check what type of jokes we make. Yeah. So the other thing is also people asking, "Why are you always happy? Why are you excited?" Like, even if there's nothing happening, I'm like, why am I supposed to be angry? Back home, we go through a lot of things, but we are still, the happiest. We're still smiling. We're still excited. You walk in the street and you're, you know, giving out this positive energy. But here it's like every situation, somebody's speaking on the phone and they're like, "Yeah, nee, okay." And then they switch off and they're like, "Oh my God." I'm just like, what is going on? Like, people seem to have this negativity most of the times. I remember we once sat with a friend and she was asking us questions. She was asking my husband some questions, and he was like, um she was asking how his work, how his stuff, and he was like, "No, his work is great. I'm loving the people. And she was like, "Oh my God, everything doesn't have to be positive. You can always say if it's not nice." I'm like, "What do you mean? I mean, if I'm enjoying it, if everything is going okay, why is it supposed to be a question of like, why are you not saying anything negative? Like, you don't always have to have something negative. Can we just keep, you know, omitting the positivity? Please, more positivity. That will really be nice." Also had another situation where my first day at work. So there was this lady who was like giving me some tour orientation and stuff, and she brings me to the kitchen and she's like, "Okay, so this is the stove, this is the fridge, and this is the microwave." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because we have these things back home, right? So I know these things, and it's no much difference in operating. I mean, a stove, you just turn it until 6 and then you see wherever you want to cook from. And she's like, "So this one is a microwave." I'm like, "Oh, okay. In case you bring your food, you put it here." She shows me the fridge. Okay. And then when you want to eat it, if you want to eat it warm, this machine makes the food warm. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to act dumb here and see what she's going to be talking about. So this machine makes the food warm. Surprising, right? You don't have to cook it again. You open the machine, you put it inside, you close it, and then you press here, 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 and then it's gonna, you know, make the food warm according to how long you want it to be, and then you take it out. I was like, "Oh wow, that's a very very interesting machine. Very interesting machine." I didn't want to be rude on the first day, so I waited until later on, and I was like, "Do you actually know that we do have microwaves back home?" She was like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, we have. What do you guys think about Africa?" And it's still, that mindset of people thinking, "Oh, Africa is just, I don't know what." So again, I'm stressing on doing your research. Please do more research and find out what exactly Africa is. The last one was also like people came to me and they're like, "Oh my God, where are you from?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Namibia. That's, you know, in the southwest of Africa." They're like, "Oh my God, you're English. You actually speak. You don't speak African English." I was like, "What? What is African English? What is African English?" Because as far as I'm concerned, it's still just English. There might be, you know, different accents, but the same way there's also like an accent in the US, there's an accent in in the UK, there's an accent in wherever, but there's no like there's an accent in Uganda, there's an accent in Kenya, there's an accent in Namibia, there's an accent in different. So I need you to be more specific than telling me you have an African accent. What is an African accent? And I also don't like, you know, when people try to imitate this and it just doesn't sound good for me. I know a lot of these things sounded like I don't like this, I don't like this, but then those are the chronicles of living in Germany as a black person. These are the things I get to experience on a daily basis, mainly. And yeah, I'm just giving you heads up in case you're planning on coming to Germany. These are the things you're going to be encountering as a black person. But overall, it's a nice country. You find good people, especially those who are educated and those who have traveled around. They have more, you know, they have a better understanding. They have more perspective compared to those who are very, very um, ignorant and have not traveled around or haven't done their research. But other than that, thank you so much for watching my video. And if you didn't subscribe already, please do so. Like and comment as well. Let me know what your experience as a black person, whether in Germany or in any other country, was or is currently. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.